Red Hot Gotsy, come subscribe, come subscribe, come subscribe, come subscribe.
Red Hot Gotsy. Alright, so today I'm making a video on Miguel and Robby, and basically I'm just going to be examining whether Miguel and Robby are, good characters in general, and I'm going to be deciphering, the different moments they've had and see, basically who's the better person, who's the better student in terms of the dojos, and who's the better boyfriend. Now, the reason I picked these two categories is because these are the main, the forefront of the whole series. It's the whole love triangle, I guess you could say, love square in between Tori, Robby, Miguel, and Sam. And I just think in general that is not the most interesting, because I think the dojo stuff and the karate stuff is more interesting, by far. But it's the second, most important plot line, so that needs to be addressed. So without further ado, let's just get into it. Now, in terms of who's the better partner, in terms of Miguel and Sam, and Robby and Tori, and then vice versa, it's Miguel and Tori and Robby and Sam. I'd actually give this to Robby because I think Robby in general is more consistent as a boyfriend. Is more he has more charisma, more chemistry with his partners in general, and I feel like there's more to be brought up plot-wise from those relationships than Miguel and Sam or Miguel and Tori. Obviously, Miguel and Sam were always meant to be together from season 1, and obviously the show was trying to set that up. But I feel like it leaves it to be less interesting when you already know the result. Obviously, you could say in certain series it's okay to know what happens. You just need to know how it happens. But I feel like in this case it just does not work. But Robby, like I said, you see his charisma, you see his charm, you see his ambition, you see his rage, you see his sadness, you see everything about him in his relationships outside of them, and you should just see how his character progresses as he goes through a lot of pain, because that's how I can describe Robby's arc throughout the whole series. It's just pain, you know what I mean? Or I guess forgiveness in a way, because he has to forgive his mom for just being a terrible mother in general. He has to forgive his father for being a terrible father in general. So just thinking about all of that, he really has to carry the weight of the world on his shoulders while also trying to, for example, in season 2, he was trying to stop Sam from drinking. So that kind of bled into his whole relationship with his mother, and it kind of reminded him of that. So it's in a way, he had to protect, his mother, or at least he had to worry about his mother. He has to now protect Sam. So it's his past is kind of coming back to haunt him, or at least he's never given the chance to climb out of his rut, his struggle, because something is always ticking him off. Something is always poking at his back. Something is always trying to mess up his life, and when he's trying to have a stable life, right? Because Miguel, he has things, good things happening to him more vicariously without him actually having to, I guess, work as hard for them. But Robby has to work 1,000 times harder, and this kind of is the thing with Tori as well. I feel like Tori struggles a lot in life, and a lot of her struggles were also because of her and because of her just situation in general with her mother. And I think those two, Robby and Tori, are the best pairing in terms of actual common sense, and just they have a good reason for actually being together plot-wise, and it asks a lot of questions, but it also answers a lot of them. For example, you might ask yourself, obviously, why would they be together in general? That's the reason, they fit the most together. They actually relate to each other the most. Miguel and Sam just, like each other a lot, and we're always meant to be together in general. And yeah, that's it. That's really it. That's really the only thing I can think of that they have similar together. Correct me if I'm wrong. Comment, subscribe, like, let me know what you think. But in general, I feel like, even though I don't like Robby as much as a person, I feel like in terms of a partner, he just does more in general. And I feel like even with Sam, right? They had great chemistry. He was in the same dojo, and it was just more of a healthy environment for Robby, and it kind of broke him out of his shell, and he was able to progress as a character, progress as a person, and you got to see a different side of him in general. Now, like I said, on Miguel's side, I feel like a lot of his problems mainly stem from Sam herself, because Sam is just kind of not the best character, and I have a couple problems with her character that I also mentioned in my Tori versus Sam video. It was actually my 50th subscriber special. If you want to go check that out, come subscribe, it's in my Cobra Kai playlist, I think, so you can just check that out if you want. Wait, do I have one? I think it's in the TV show one. But yeah, back to the video. In general, I feel like as a student, no, as a boyfriend, as a partner, Miguel just he doesn't get the point. I think he loses in this round because he doesn't have those factors of interesting plot coming from his relationship. Besides, just inevitably knowing that they're going to be with that person, and then it kind of just ends there. Also with Tori, again, it was inevitably going to end, and it's it was kind of cut off, especially when Tori just didn't visit him at the hospital. Obviously he cheated, so it's I understand sort of, but in general, then you start an argument with the person who almost died, who was your partner, and then you just walk off. You know what I mean? It's just it's ridiculous. They didn't even have a real conversation about everything that happened. It just kind of just cut off abruptly, and then they never speak to each other ever again. So I kind of have to give this to Robby. Now the next section is students. Now the point I would say goes to Miguel in general, because I feel like as a student, Miguel has just progressed as a character so much more. So it's kind of the opposite of Robby. It's as a character, student-wise, Miguel just surpasses Robby. It's not even close, actually, in my opinion. Or maybe that's being dramatic. I don't know. But I feel like he wins this round. So it's 1-1 for Robby and Miguel. And the reason why is Miguel just has more of a great connection to Robby than Robby has a even good connection to Daniel. I feel like his connection with Daniel, student to mentor wise, is like, or student to sensei, however you want to put it. You know what I mean? It's just not as strong in general. And I feel like how it gets cut off, like in season 1, when he found out that he was related to Johnny, was it Robby was related to Johnny? He like just cut off their whole like mentorship or like their whole training in general just because he was so upset about that. But I feel like I don't know if Johnny would do the same thing with Miguel, or at least even if he did, I don't think he would do it a second time. I think he would talk to Miguel before, just abruptly stopping everything, like just so quickly. And even like in season 2, it happened again. And this is the thing I was just talking about. He does it again, but it's like almost worse because it's a serious situation, I'll say, where Sam is at Johnny's house, but it's like, Robby's a good kid, so obviously you should talk to Robby before you just jump to conclusions, and you start a fight with his father, who you already know, like you already had this like rivalry with, but again, Robby's a good kid, so you just shouldn't be doing that. So I feel like their relationship is just very rocky, and even if you want to like make excuses for Daniel, this just shows that their relationship isn't as strong. Even when they were cool, right? I feel like there was more of a like with Miguel and Johnny, I feel like it's more of like it's almost like father and son, to be honest. Like that's his second son. But with Daniel and Robby, it's sensei to student, and that's fine, to be honest. Like that's perfect. That's how it should be in reality. Like in real life, that's how it be. But in general, you just can't beat that sort of like father son dynamic almost. And that's what I really see in Miguel and Johnny. Everything Johnny has done for Miguel in terms of like helping him heal his, in terms of like training him in general, in terms of helping him heal his back. Go through like recovery and stuff like that, heal his legs and stuff, get back into karate, just everything he's done. And even in the new season, he's going to be picking him up from Mexico. So they're going all the way to Mexico just to get Miguel. And obviously Robby doesn't want to do that, but like that just shows like Robby needs that sort of connection with his father, but like to like progress him as a character and stuff like that, he needs to mend that. He needs to heal that. But with Miguel, he already has that. He has the better sensei, the one that's actually trained him to be better than Robby in terms of scaling. If you want to talk about power scaling, and as a person, like they're both very close. And even with Daniel had a great conversation with Miguel, and they didn't have any like problems or whatever. Even though you would assume that they would have problems, Miguel actually, like he grew quite fond of Miguel. I'll say pretty quickly. And with Johnny, and Robby, was pretty rocky for a long time. So in general, Miguel just wins it. It's not close. It really isn't. It's the complete opposite. It's like relationship wise, Miguel just like he's not terrible. He's not the worst, but it's just like he's not as strong as Robby in terms of like his personality and how he goes about relationships. But I feel like Robby's just he's not. I mean, he has a lot of daddy issues, to be honest, and he needs to fix those in season 5. But yeah, come subscribe, like, let me know what you think. I forgot the last point was actually about who's the better person in general, and I'll give this to Miguel. Obviously, I think in terms of the whole series in general, character-wise, Miguel has just surpassed Robby in terms of being a better student, in terms of being stronger. I feel like because obviously Robby in general right now might be stronger just because Miguel had the whole like back injury because of Robby. But in general, he had the back injury, and he had to heal from that. So he was weak in season 3, or at least the weakest. Actually, I'll say the weakest he's ever been is still season 1, but like season 3, he was down bad, at least for like half or a little more than half the season, because he was recovering and stuff like that. So like he was injured for a long time. But in general, I just feel like in terms of his relationship with Johnny, Sam, Daniel, just Tori even. Oh, actually maybe not Tori. All right, maybe Tori is the only one. Tori and Kreese are the only ones that are actually better character-wise with Robby in terms of like how they interact with each other than Miguel. But everything else, like Miguel just wins it easy. In terms of who he is as a person, he's a nice kid. He spared Robby even though he kissed his girlfriend, was talking all that crap and stuff like that. I feel like he's remorseful, and even though he does have his moments of rage and stuff like that, that's not who he is fully. He's still human at the end of the day, and I think Robby is too. But overall, I gotta give it to Miguel Diaz. So come and subscribe, like. So basically, it's 2-1. Just to remind y'all, it's 2-1. So Miguel wins. Then yeah, let me know what you think, and I'll see you guys later.
No way, Jose.
Red Hot Gotsy, come subscribe, like, come subscribe, like, come subscribe, like, come subscribe.